This is my first Vox Pop, and we made it about Brexit and Valentine's Day.
How do you think Brexit's going for you? How are you finding it being over in the UK?
We miss you.
Come back.
Come back.
You never should have done it.
Oh,
It's very expensive to pay for all the Brexit things that don't work. So good luck for rejoining us.
And we're waiting for you to come back.
that's a lovely Valentine's message. Thank you.
What?
How do you think Brexit's going for a start? And then, as it's Valentine's Day, you had a choice of 3 people,
Yeah.
and you can give them love, marry, or send in a rocket ship to Mars. 3 candidates are
Okay.
Keir Starmer, Boris Johnson, and Rishi Sunak.
Well, certainly none of that lot. None of those three. I see much worse than all.
So pretty much all 3 on the rocket ship.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just what is your opinion on how you think Brexit's going, first of all?
I think it's going very badly, but I don't think there was any chance of it going well. It's not just the problems with Johnson and May and the rest of them. It's the whole idea of it, which is flawed. It could never have worked out well.
Well, this ties in quite nicely with it being Valentine's Day. So love, marry, or send in a rocket ship to Mars. You've got May, you've got Johnson, and you've got Truss. What would you do with all 3?
I'd certainly put them on a rocket ship. That might be a cruel and inhumane punishment for all of them.
But no love and marriage then.
I think I can get by without both those things, any of those people.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. So my first question is, how do you think Brexit's going so far?
Well, I think Brexit's even bigger a disaster than anyone could possibly have forecast back in 2016. I think what's called Project Fear should now be retitled Project We Grossly Underestimated How Bad This Was Really Going to Be.
So if I had, as it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to give you 3 options. Love, marry, send on a rocket ship to Mars.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to give you 3 political candidates to pick from.
You serious?
Keir Starmer, Theresa May, Boris Johnson. Love, marry, send in a rocket ship to Mars.
I think we'll put all 3 of them on a rocket ship to Mars, and I would forswear any sexual contact with any other human being for the rest of my life to avoid the other 2 under any circumstances.
Thank you.
So as you can see, asking love, marriage, and send in a rocket ship wasn't going very well. I was generally getting the same answer, so I changed tack and I just asked about Brexit and a love message.
So it's basically just, what do you think on Brexit? How are you finding it so far? You're all musicians, is it affecting you?
Good shit, yeah. We're worried about not being able to go over the sea.
Yeah, true actually. Not me though, because I got that finished passport. Fair enough.
And has it actually affected your ability to get work so far, or?
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, I mean,
Europe
in the cost of, the cost of, since Brexit, the cost of all instruments has gone up by like 200 quid. Like,
Yeah,
it costs like
there you go,
more
there's
to
another
buy a
one.
guitar now than it did in 2017,
Wow.
18.
Wow.
I mean, that's a pandemic too, but
But still, it's a huge increase, isn't it? Do you have a Valentine's message you'd like to give over to the EU?
We love you, EU.
We wish you were still with us.
Yeah, still with me. I don't know about you guys.
Have you got any thoughts about what you'd like to say to the government as a love message?
That's a love message.
I have no words of love for the government.
How's Brexit been affecting you?
It's nothing personal. It's just what it does to the kids, really. It doesn't give them the same opportunities that I've had. It's just been in go and work. I've worked all over the place. And I just want to give it back to the kids, so I just want to pay it forward and all that lot.
Do you have a love message a Valentine's Day message, sorry, for the government?
Valentine's message.
Yeah.
Pull your socks out. I love Boris Johnson, really.
And do you have a Valentine's Day message for people in the EU?
Yeah, we love you. We want you back.
So Rod, how's Brexit affecting you at the moment?
It affects me in terms of how my freedoms have been diminished and have been dictated to by people who perhaps didn't understand how deep our relationship was, culturally, socially, economically, with the rest of Europe. A serious loss, and it's a serious detriment to the people of this island. And this separation, this taking back control, it's just absolute nonsense. People have been conned. And now we're just going to see the separation of the various nations of this United Kingdom.
Pretty much. I mean, it looks like Scotland.
I'm very, very sad about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people are.
It's not just my children's future, it's going to be their children as well. Seriously affected and detrimentally so.
So considering it's Valentine's Day, do you have a love message either for the government or do you have a love message over to the people in the EU?
I have no love message for this government. They're just lining their own pockets. It's all for them. So money in this country is just going offshore.
Yeah.
We're becoming a less equal country, and a more divided country.
Do you have a love message for people in the EU?
We'll be back.
Thank you very much. And Michaela, how are you finding Brexit at the moment? How's it been treating you?
To be fair, I feel like Brexit as a whole, has been very negative for the people of the UK. We can see it here. Energy prices going up. People are suffering cost of living crisis, and many might say, "Oh, that happened all across the G7," but we're literally the lowest in the G7. So let's get back in the European Union. Beg to come back, but yeah.
Do you have a Valentine's Day message for the government or for the people of the EU?
Rishi Sunak. Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but yeah.
It's free speech, so.
Rishi Sunak, this should go fuck yourself, properly. But yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a Valentine's Day message for the people of the EU?
Please let us back in. We're sorry.
Oh, nice to meet you, Jane. Jane, how's Brexit treating you at the moment?
Not great, I think, for most people, really. I think we were sold down the river. There was lots of things promised, but nothing much forthcoming, particularly for people at the lower end with no money. And there's all this, as I say, promises, but not coming to much. And politically, I'm a Remainer anyway, and want to keep links with Europe and the world.
Be nice.
It feels like at the moment we've just retreated into this bubble, really, and it's a bit scary when you think of the future and that level of isolation, really, and where it's going to get us, particularly with all the big issues of the moment, climate being a big one. Those are things that we've got to do as a group. So
teamwork, not about the eye.
Not isolation and not individualism,
As it's Valentine's Day, do you have a Valentine's Day message for the government?
Oh God, yeah. Choose love, not hate.
It's a beautiful message. Do you have a Valentine's Day message for people in the EU?
Just to hold their nerve and that maybe we'll be back. If they still want it.
Omar, how's Brexit treating you?
I think it's rough, mate. I think they should have came up with Brexit deal. That's my belief. It's like much of the world.
Do you think we should go back in then?
I think so.
And what about you personally? Is it?
Affect me financially. I'm a carpenter, but it's like I'm working the money and I can't pay the bills. The bills is too high. Like each day goes by, you probably work £1,000 per week, and you turn up, it's like cost of living is so high that the money can't cover the cost of living what you're doing. I'm not like the boy I'm gallivanting with the money or spouting or whatever. I can't remember the last time I spent a year. Well, just home, work. And I get 1,000 rent, £1,200 a month. Cost of living, food is too much. I think they should go back to Brexit. It's totally wrong.
Wait for that. I've got a Valentine's Day twist though. What? So have you got a love message that you'd like to give to the government?
Do better. Do better. Do better than what he's doing. Nothing near good. Do better than what he's doing at the present moment.
And do you have a love message for people in the EU?
Oh yes, stay strong. Being strong, and we survive.
Love it.
We're not going to join it forever. We're not going to join forever, but we're going to move on.
Thank you so much, Omar. What's your opinion on Brexit then, from a sort of outside perspective?
I think it's really sad that it happened, because it tears countries apart. And I was an au pair here the UK, and now I think no au pairs from Europe are allowed to go to the UK anymore. That's really sad because it's a cool opportunity and I enjoyed it.
Building connections and everything, and yourself?
Yeah, I think also it's pretty sad. But yeah, people decided it and they have to stick through it. And, yeah, but we're still happy to travel here and live here without any big issues. So
Yes.
yeah, still alright.
Cool that we can still visit.
Do you have a Valentine's Day message for the people of the UK from people in the EU about Brexit?
Yeah, the people should just love each other and be happy that we're all living in peace together and enjoy it while it lasts.
Do you have a Valentine's Day message in relation to us coming back? Would you?
Yeah, we would love to take you back with open arms, I think.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day out there, whoever or whatever you are. And on that note, I'd like to say a big thank you to all of my supporters from both YouTube and Patreon. You keep this channel going and growing. If you'd like to support this channel, you can either do it through Patreon, you can do it through YouTube, you could buy me a coffee. You could even just do it as simple and as cheaply as pressing that like button, sharing the video, or just hitting the notification and subscribe buttons. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.